evening, everyone. I am Mary Gillett. I'm a member of the Regency and Holmdel Board, for those of you who don't know or nothing. Our President, Dan Lafferty, and Vice President Michael Henry are not able to be here tonight because they are on previously scheduled as well and well-deserved vacation. So we gave them the night off. I am along with Ken Lazard. There's Ken. And Mark Hill was supposed to be here, but he was driving back from South Carolina, also visiting the store. It's a busy time for vacations. But Ken and I are fellow board members, and we're here tonight, and we'd like to welcome the Honorable Mayor Brian Foster, along with the distinguished Holmdel Township Committee for tonight's meeting. Thank you for coming. We are also very excited to host our Holmdel Township neighbors here at our Regency Clubhouse. And welcome to those attending for the live streaming. And thank you to our Regency residents for participating in this evening's discussion. We are an enthusiastic and involved community with many collective years of private and public sector experiences, and we are happy to be residents of Holmdel. I will now turn this evening's program over to Holmdel Township Clerk, Wendy Trovish.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I hereby announce that pursuant to Section 5 of the Open Public Meetings Act, that adequate notice of this meeting has been provided in the notice which was sent to the Asbury Park Press, the Two River Times, and posted on the bulletin board in Township Hall and filed in the Township Clerk's office on September 16, 2025. Mayor Foster?
Here.
Ms. LaMountain?
Here.
Mr. Impravaduto?
Here.
Mr. Lucarelli is not here this evening. Mr. Romano?
Here.
Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you very much, Wendy. Can we all please stand for our pledge of allegiance? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If we could all please remain standing for a moment of silence for our troops who serve us tirelessly at home and abroad. Thank you very much. All right, so we're about to get started. Linda, thank you so much for that introduction, and thank you everyone in the community for hosting us. When our new administrator, Chris Trevini, joined us this year, in the lead up with a bunch of his interviews, which were extensive with all the qualified candidates that we have, we were just looking for somebody who had some real progressive ideas and things to try to smooth us forward as it's happening. He said getting out into the community is probably something that would be well received. I agree with 100%. Just looking out here, we appreciate you all coming down. I don't know if you've been to any of our township meetings. I know we have Bill, Pat, and Eric who come to a lot of them. But besides that, we maybe get 5 to 10 at most others. So thank you all for taking your time out of your evening tonight. We're hoping that you have some questions for our department heads. If you have some questions for us, we'll be here as well. And with that, without further ado, Wendy, how about we get started?
So the first would be members of the public are invited to provide comments up to 3 minutes in duration on agenda items only. Commenters are asked to state his or her full name and address for the record before entering comments.
Okay, would anybody like to make any public comments? All right, Wendy saying none.
Saying none. Next would be on the consent agenda. It would be approving resolutions 2025-241 through 2025-254.
Can we get a motion?
Second.
Mr. Impravaduto?
Yes.
Ms. LaMountain?
Yes.
Mr. Romano?
Yes.
Mayor Foster?
Yes.
Resolutions 2025-241 through 2025-254 have been successfully passed. Thank you.
All right, so we moved pretty quickly through that. Chris, you're down at the end. Would you like to introduce each of our department heads as you go through and get us started? Thank you so much.
Hello, everybody, and I thank you all for coming out tonight. I'm very excited about this. Is our first time doing this, so it won't be our last. I think that the committee is supportive of this, so I really look forward to it. My name is Chris Trevini. I am the new township administrator. Actually, I'm not as new now anymore. It's almost 6 months I've been here, but I'm loving my time here. I thank the committee for choosing me. The employees that I work with every day are great. Real quick, what my job is, I basically oversee the day-to-day operations of the town. I'm in the office every day, Monday through Friday, from 8:30 to 4:30. If anybody ever is looking to meet with me or anything, I'm always there. What I asked tonight was a group of our department heads to come out. Our department, as you can see them sitting right to your left, on the wall here, are people who run certain parts of our town. Not everybody could make it tonight, but they either sent a representative, or I'll answer questions on their behalf if they're not here. So I'm going to introduce them by going around. What the goal here is after the meeting tonight, when we close it, they're going to be hanging around a little while. If you have a question, whether it's a concern about police stuff, or if it's a concern about fire inspections, or you want to know what the clerk's office does, we'll be here so you can ask those questions, okay? So first off, at the dais, I want to introduce Wendy Petrovich. She's our municipal clerk. She's the one who handles all our meetings. She records everything. She's the keeper of the records. Many of you might have met her over the time, going in to get dog licensing and stuff like that. A lot of licensing goes to her office. And actually with her tonight, she brought Carrie Killian, who's our deputy. Okay, so she's here as well to help out with our streaming. I'm going to move to the back corner here. Captain Jeff Ackerson is here for the chief of police. The chief couldn't make it tonight. Captain Ackerson is one of his command staff. He can answer a lot of questions you have about policing and stuff like that and what's going on in the communities. He's here for that. Next to him is Bill Antonides. He's our chief financial officer. He handles all our monies. He does all our investing, and he makes sure that our books are solid every year, and we are. And we're in good financial shape, and he's the man who's responsible for that. Next to him is Brian Nagel. Brian Nagel is our director of DPW, Department of Public Works. He's out there with his men, and they handle our snow plowing, they do some of our grass cutting. They do a lot of road work. You guys might run into them when you do large item drop off or something like that. That's who comes out and does it. Next to him is Robert Ward, Bob Ward. I mean, a lot of you might know him. Bob's our recreation director. We put on a lot of good programs. He also runs our pool club, and he does a lot of great programs for seniors. And I think you guys, if you have any questions, ask him about that. Chief Fire Inspector, Fire Marshal. He handles all our fire inspections. Any questions or concerns about that, please reach out to him. Next to him is Jill Stone. She's our tax collector. She has to collect the taxes, I mean, trust me, there's somebody else I'm going to probably introduce. He's on the end, but we'll get him in a minute. So some of you come and pay your taxes in person. I know a lot of people like to do that. Jill and her staff are great, and they can always help you with any questions like senior freeze and stuff like that. Next to Jill is Jason Wegg. He's our IT director. Okay, and his deputy is next to him, Nick. They are actually run all our computers. They helped us set up tonight. They got this all working for us. We were able to go on the road. And other places I've gone on the road, I've never had the great mics like this tonight. But this is all set up, and they worked on this for a few weeks. So I thank them for that. And on the end is Eric Aguiar. Eric's a tax assessor. Boo. sorry about that. It was just a habit. No, he's our tax assessor. He works for the town. He's kind of an independent body, though. He has to make decisions based on going trends, real estate. So he handles all the assessments in our town. And he can answer questions. Well, you may have some questions for him. He can explain how to handle certain things, including if there's appeals or stuff like that when it comes to taxes. But I thank everybody again for coming tonight. I don't have any other report. I just really wanted to introduce our staff here tonight. Did I miss anybody? Is anybody hiding? I mean, we might. Sometimes that happens. But again, after the meeting, we'll all be here. You can ask me any questions you want, and we'll be here to help you guys out. Also, I forgot, I missed him in the back corner. He's hiding. From my office, our public information officer, Brian O'Malley, he's here tonight with us as well. He did help also set up this event, so I thank him for that. So thank you, Mayor.
Thank you very much. Can we give them a round of applause? Obviously, this is after their hours, and when we put it out to everybody, we really got a positive response. You can see somebody's here from every department. So I thank you all very much for the support and coming out tonight. Thank you. With that, Bill, you're next in line. You have anything you'd like to add as the CFO this evening?
Well, I have nothing, thank you.
Here to answer 100 questions if you need, all right? Good stuff. Thank you. Michael?
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everyone. For the attorney report tonight, just one minor item I wanted to report out. I actually got a question before the meeting that reminded me of the relevance here. There were actions a couple of months ago regarding Topama Farms, which you may have seen in the newspaper. The Township Committee approved an ordinance to authorize a lease because Topama Farms was the prevailing bidder in the bid that went out for a new term on that. We did execute that lease, so the lease is in place with Topama Farms effective January 1, moving forward into the future. And at the same time, Topama Farms also dismissed the lawsuit that they filed against the township with prejudice. So that dismissal was filed in Superior Court this week, and that should close that matter, and the lease will be in effect, and that should take care of everything based upon the Township Committee's actions in the past couple of meetings. So I wanted to inform the public of that, and happy to answer any questions too.
Very good. Thank you, Michael, for that positive news. Moving right along, Committeeman Romano.
Thank you, Mayor. Starting off with the Holmdel Library, we've got a couple events coming up. The Cosmic Signal, a timely wake-up call from our source. This event will explore the cosmic microwave background radiation discovered in Holmdel, New Jersey, and its potential implications for humanity's role in the universe. Talk will include a 10-minute video of the discovery of the 60th anniversary celebration. This takes place Wednesday, October 1st at 7 p.m. at Holmdel Library. The guest speaker is Dr. Sarpreet Kanwal, a retired Bell Labs physicist, Caltech, PhD, who now teaches at Oakdale Community College. He's received awards for teaching in humanitarian work and delivered 2 TEDx talks. This program will also offer a foundational overview of physical and emotional changes that come with aging. The session will challenge common myths and provide insights and risk factors for premature deaths, preventative strategies, and ways to recognize and address depression in older adults. We have another event called Increase Your Knowledge of Breast Cancer Warning Signs. This session will cover breast cancer risk, signs, and symptoms, as well as the importance of annual mammogram screenings. This is Wednesday, October 8th at 1:30. Guest speaker there is Patricia Messenger, RN, Community Health Educator, Hackensack Meridian Health. Moving to the Board of Ed, Indian Hill School has been named the 2025 National Blue Ribbon School by the U.S. Department of Education. Congratulations. This designation recognizes Indian Hill as an exemplary, high-performing school based on its outstanding results of the New Jersey Student Learning Assessment and other state or national tests. Although the federal program is discontinued, New Jersey State Board of Ed will still honor the school. Additionally, the Holmdel Board of Education will formally recognize the Indian Hill School in its regular meeting in October. 2 Holmdel High School students, Suhail Aziz and Adam Kazui, have been named National Merit Study finalists. This places them among the top 1% of high school seniors nationwide based on their outstanding performance on ESATs. We have a few rising stars in Holmdel Performing Arts. Holmdel High School's junior Sophia Prignano represented Holmdel International Thespian Festival in Indiana, where she competed in the acting solo category against students from around the world. She earned a superior rating with an impressive score of 19 out of 20 points. Her performance highlights her exceptional talent and represents the high caliber of Holmdel's performing arts. From the Veterans Committee, Holmdel Township is seeking nominations for this year's Veteran of the Year Award. This commendation is presented annually to an observing individual who served in our nation's armed forces and has also made significant contributions to the community through volunteerism and service. If you know a veteran who is selflessly giving their time to Holmdel, please consider nominating them by sending an email to info@holmdeltownship.com no later than October 15th. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you very much, Joe. Committeeman and former Mayor Fred Reduto.
Thank you, Mayor. Everybody hear me okay?
No.
Oh.
Push the button.
How about now? There we go. So I'm the liaison for Public Safety, Public Works, and the Finance Committee. So starting with Public Safety, the Holmdel Police Department is highlighting 3 key initiatives throughout October on our webpage, social media accounts, and community policing initiatives. National Crime Prevention Month focuses on fostering safer communities and through awareness, education, and proactive community involvement. Pedestrian Safety Month, designated by the NHTSA, raises awareness about pedestrian safety, particularly during a time of year when accidents are historically more dangerous. And the third, Cybersecurity Awareness Month emphasizes the importance of taking daily actions to reduce online risks and protect connected devices. From the Holmdel Fire Department, a reminder that the fire department will be hosting a Fire Prevention Month open house on Sunday, October 5th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Crawfords Corner Road Fire Station. There will be station tours, demonstrations, and activities for kids, along with refreshments. The fire department is on the lookout also for junk cars that will be utilized to practice vehicle extraction, otherwise known as the jaws of life. So if you have a junk car that you're looking to get rid of, please contact the fire department at 732-946-6785. The vehicle will be removed free of charge, and your donation is tax deductible. The fire department is also always looking for new members. We have a cadet program for ages 14 to 21. Please visit our website for more information. And from the Department of Public Works, fall leaf collection. The leaf collection schedule for November and December is now available on our township website. The schedule is organized by sections A, B, C, and D to be sure. So be sure to check the site for your specific dates. Really for those watching at home, I think, given this audience. Please remember to not place leaves on the street more than 1 week before your scheduled collection date. Only leaves will be collected during this time. No brush should be placed at the curb. Thank you very much, Mayor.
Thank you, Robert. Moving right along, Deputy Mayor Lamont, please.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you folks for having us. It's nice to have a change of scenery, and it's nice to see a whole bunch of new faces. So please, after the meeting, feel free to come up, talk to us, ask us questions. That's what we're here for. I am the liaison to Community Development Department, Holmdel Green Team, and Holmdel Heritage Committee. This week for Community Development, we don't have any new announcements. As to our Holmdel Green Team, the Holmdel Green Team participated in the Sunday Festival at Holmdel Park, discussing sustainability topics like community solar and home electrification. They also plan to have a table at the upcoming Harvest Festival. After a tour of a HelpSee facility, the team forwarded information to Bell Works, which is now considering adding a collection box for textile recycling on its property. Holmdel Township has once again been awarded the bronze level sustainable jersey certification. This certification came as the result of many months and lots of work and effort by the members of the Green Team. It is a great achievement for Holmdel, so thank you, Green Team, for all your volunteer hours and your hard work with that. The team is resuming its work on the community energy planning effort and a local government energy audit. The next Green Team meeting is Monday, October 6th at 7 p.m. at the Holmdel Public Library. The public is welcome to attend. You can find information by going onto our website, and there's an area for the Holmdel Green Team on there if anyone's interested. The Holmdel Heritage Committee, some updates for our Heritage Day for 2025. It will take place Sunday, October 26th at the Holmdel High School beginning at 1 p.m. The event will feature a diverse range of participants, including 24 restaurants and shops, 6 organizations, and representatives from 14 countries who will be providing food, drinks, and cultural activities. We have 800 tickets available for the event, and if it's anything like last year, you'll want to come in the very beginning so you can take advantage of all the different food from the different countries. This year we have additional restaurants participating, so there's going to be plenty of it, but it's a lot of fun and you want to take your time to enjoy. The Heritage Committee is holding during that event Culture in Arts, which is an art contest for Holmdel students in grades 7 through 12. The deadline to register for that is October 15th. If you would like to register for your free tickets to the Heritage Committee Day, you can go onto the website to the Heritage Committee page. There's also a Jewish holiday display. Residents are encouraged to visit our Holmdel Library to see the display prepared by the Shabbat Jewish Center of Holmdel. and that will be available until September 30th. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you very much, Kim. All right. If you haven't been to that Holmdel Heritage meeting last year, not the meeting, but the event, it really was a great event. Turnout, I think, was far better than we expected, and we're expecting even more this year. So, excellent event if you can find your way over to the high school. As I reported at our last meeting, a major upgrade project by JCP&L is currently being undertaken and will span the next several months. The utility company's initial proposal involved the complete removal of all trees along South Holland Road, which was something myself and the rest of the committee found unacceptable. Following discussions with the project leaders and with the additional help of Assemblywoman Vicki Flynn, the plan was successfully adjusted to ensure that no trees will be cut down. Great work on that, Chris. Thank you for the support, for being out there and meeting with them. Very favorable outcome for us, I believe. The Holmdel Senior Center is set to receive a series of much-needed cosmetic upgrades. These renovations will include a fresh coat of paint, new flooring, and new blinds. The kitchen will undergo a renovation as well, adding to the improvements already made with the installation of the new bathrooms last year when Rocco was mayor. So, continuing to do a bunch of good things over there. We thank you for your support. Last meeting, I also told you that the recent construction on Crawford Corner Road had been completed, addressing a project that many residents have been following. Several residents reported a significant dip in the road just outside the SAT school exit, causing some concern. In response, we instructed our township engineer to have a construction firm to return to the site and repair the section of road. Anybody that drove over it knows exactly what I'm speaking about. I am pleased to report that the dip has been successfully fixed, resolving the issue for residents. Very quick work by our team there. Thank you so much for all of that. And that was definitely the one blemish on the road. Yeah, besides that, I think they did a great job coming in under budget, very quick turnaround time frame. So we really pushed T&M on that. They really stepped up and did a phenomenal job. The final stage of the Crawford's Corner Road project is in the installation and painting of new crosswalks. This work is scheduled to begin on or around October 6th. More information regarding the specific timing will be provided as soon as we have it. Some other great news, Holmdel Township has been awarded a $75,000 grant from the New Jersey Historic Trust. This funding was requested to support planning purposes for the Robert Wilson Park. The Preserve NJ Grant Program provides funding for historic preservation projects across the state, and this specific grant will be used to help the township develop a strategic plan for the park. A special thank you is extended to the many individuals who contributed to the grant application process. Particularly gratitude is due to Dr. Robert Wilson, who provided a tour and shared his firsthand stories with the grant program officer, which helped us secure the full grant request. She was thoroughly impressed with his maneuvering of the horn antenna. She was riveted by the stories he told. It was nice to see their eyes light up. New Jersey's been a great support along the road, and we're really looking forward to having a really beautiful park in town, which got started with DJ as mayor. Well, unfortunately, he isn't here this evening, and then continued through with Rocco as well. So, huge success story, I think, for the township. As this is our first township committee meeting on the road and out in the community, I want to say a special thank you to our IT department, Jay and Nick, for setting up the technology that made it possible to hold the township committee here at the Regency, and also a special thank you to Sean Bittner and Brian Dericello from Public Works for preparing the room for the meeting. Your guys' hard work does not go unnoticed. Like everybody else here, we appreciate you guys showing up with a smile and helping us out and supporting us for all you guys do for town. So that concludes our comments up here, and we're going to move on to the section where anybody that has some public comments, doesn't have to be about the agenda, it could be about anything in general. You can please come on up, raise your hand first. I will recognize you to come up just so that we don't have chaos running up to the microphone, because I'm sure people are chomping at the bit to ask questions. So with that being said, let's anybody like to make some comments? The gentleman in the second row, please. And the microphone. You'll see where this gentleman goes. Just please state your name and address for the record.
Peter Brombeck, 23 Lennox Court, right here, Holmdel. My question, the swim club. Yeah, I think it's.
Thank you.
How's that?
Yeah.
Perfect. The swim club, is that a standalone profit center?
So Bob, you want to answer that?
Answer it? The swim club is a membership-based pool. It's run by the township, but it's a membership-based pool. It's a separate utility. So basically, there's no tax dollars to go to it. It's all self-supported by membership fees. And fees that come into the swim club.
according to your accounts payable, there's quite a few entertainment items for the swim club.
Correct.
Are they reimbursed to the township or?
No, they're paid, I have a separate budget for the swim club.
Oh, okay.
Everything's it's all.
It's its own utility.
It still has to get paid out of the town.
I understand.
So we
Okay.
collected into the utility, and whatever we collect goes back out to Justice Swim Club or entertainment. There.
Gentlemen in the right, towards the back, please.
I have a couple of comments.
Sir, your name and
Oh,
address.
my
please.
name is Richard Arway, 95 Iris Court, Holmdel, 26-year resident. I have two comments. One is a positive and one is a negative. My positive is I'd like to, I don't know how to put this, but I made a cold call to the township. And I can't tell you how pleased I was that everybody was very friendly and helpful. I don't know whether to mention the name that I was put in contact with, but it involved the session at the senior center for help with the what's that?
The PAS1, the single.
Well, I filled out the PS1, but I had a problem with the year of 22 when my wife passed away. I skipped a year. And I went over there to get some help to get back to my original 2017 date, which makes a difference in a couple $1,000s. The session that they had there was very helpful. I don't want to go on and on. But the main reason I'm here is to let you people know we have a real good committee, all these people that contribute. And, you don't get to hear that very often. It's usually a bunch of complaints. But that's why I made a trip over here. Hopefully they'll come to my community, which is the Village Grant. Got a little bigger facility over there because we have more people. But it doesn't cost as much. Anyways, that's what I hope I'm getting my message through. You've got a good board here, and I just started following it in the last year. And, it makes me feel good that I live here by myself.
Richard, we greatly appreciate that. I'd love if you
Okay.
would share, I would love if you would share the
I hate
employees'
to
name.
take up all this time,
You're
but I'm
fine.
going to make one quick zap.
And I was asking you to share that employee's name, though, please. I'd like
Well,
to
I'll
have.
give you his initials are B.O.
Yeah, I'm with you. Thank you for that.
I don't want to embarrass anybody.
Now let me have it.
That's a pretty bad initial, B.O. He knows who he is. Okay. And my complaint is the damn deer. Oh my God. You can't grow anything. And specifically, the De Palma farm fence, every time I drive by there, I'm aggravated. My tax dollars paid for that fence in a roundabout way, is which I was told. Now the deer are all forced into residential areas. Now I know the private farms, like you have right next door to you, they have every right to put up any kind of fence they want. but the open land should be kept open for the deer too. And I'll leave it at that. And thank you for letting me speak.
Absolutely, Rich. We appreciate your comments. Thank you so much for coming down this evening. Gentleman in the red sweater.
Hi, everybody. Is it on? Yeah. My name is Bill Rosser. I live in 24 Chansky Drive. And the topic I have is my concern about potential threat to the property tax issue of the pilot program. Now, I can make some comments about what I think are the real facts going on there, but people are talking about what a bad deal it is for Holmdel. I totally disagree. I can talk about that now if you wish. I'll give you.
Please.
Okay.
You have the floor.
Here we go. In the real world, the Regency pilot program, where we are now, contributes about $3,600,000 to the township. But by being a 55-plus community and having no school children, current residents in the entire 180 units, no school children. So that saves the township $2,282,000. That is the norm of the children that normally would be attending from the 180 households. That is 34% of households in Holmdel have children, and the number of children per household is 1.5. So if you apply that to the group here of 180 households, it comes out to 34% of those households have children, and so on. Anyway, it amounts to a budget demand on the Department of Education. If we add the norm of the rest of the township in here in Regency, it would add to the budget $2,282,000 for the Department of Education. So if you raise the pilot tax from what it is now, it's diminished from the normal level in the township by say 15%, and from the tax I pay here, I think it's lower than the average by like 10%. But if you raise the tax on the home people in Regency 15%, the contributions would go up to from 3.6 million to 4,140,000. But the cost, if we had children like normal communities, would be this 2.8 million. So that's a net contribution to the township, $1.8 million. So versus today's 3.6, that's a loss of $1.7 million. If you know, so I'm just arguing against the idea that we should get rid of pilot because it's a bad deal for Holmdel. Not true. It's a good deal. Holmdel made. We got a bunch of people in quickly, 180 units, pay good taxes, no children. Great. That's it.
So, Bill, thank you very much for your comments. And actually, just give me 1 minute, folks, please, because I want to respond to that. So that was one of the first contentious issues that I faced when I joined. I joined the board a little bit early because 2 people resigned from the committee. So I joined a little bit early. And at the time, obviously, with inflation, the rates, and where everything was as far as the economy went, as people were reselling their units, which I'm sure most of the folks here are aware of, the numbers just didn't work. I was not on the committee when the pilot was set up and agreed to all those years ago, but I believe that keeping the spirit of the pilot was pretty much paramount, and we also didn't want to penalize the property owners or the buyers. And I don't think there was any perfect solution, but we spent countless hours on it. We had Eric Aguiar come in and explain a bunch of things, go through the pilot. We sat with our attorney. Unfortunately, DJ Lucarelli's not here this evening, but Rocco's here as well, who voted on that. And when we sat down and went through this literally for hours trying to figure out the best way to go about this, we finally came up with the solution we proposed, which I am in favor of. You can see it clearly by my yes vote to that. That evening, we had a vote with 4 of us. 3 people voted affirmatively to pass that measure. 1 person did not vote at all. They didn't vote no. They didn't voice why they were against it. They didn't do anything. To me, when you want to be a leader, when you want to sit up here and make decisions, there's going to be some tough decisions. Not everybody is going to be happy with every decision that comes out of here. I do promise you that every decision I make
whether it's the easiest one or the toughest one, is made what I think is the best benefit of our residents, period, end of story. That's it. Rocco, you were part of that vote. Would you like to answer this as well?
Sure. I mean, look, it was pretty simple, right? How do we keep the integrity and the spirit of the pilot program going and ensure that, residents and potential new buyers aren't going to be disproportionately affected? To Brian's point, you call the best shot you can. We did. I do want to touch upon the spirit of the pilot program, if I may, Mayor, really quickly. I have a little bit of a vested interest in this. My father was mayor when the Bellworks project was initiated. There's a lot of the foundational arguments against the pilot program typically don't hold water because they make assumptions that are inaccurate. The reality of it is, had there not been a pilot program, there would be no Regency, there would be no Bellworks. We would still be looking at the largest vacant building in the United States of America. So the pilot program, allowed this development to happen. There are comments made about the money coming into the town. There are comments made about whether or not the schools have been affected. As the gentleman stated, none of you impact the schools, right? But further to that point, and Eric, you're here and you're far more precise than I am, so I'm going to use ballpark numbers. Don't get mad at me. I think the taxes on the building itself at the time when it was vacated before Somerset came in for the development were something in the neighborhood of $600,000 a year. Is that give or take?
Maybe a bit less.
Even less,
Yeah.
right? So if someone comes in as an advocate to say, well, the schools don't get anything, well, they were getting 2/3 of $500,000 back then, right?
Yeah.
So the pilot program's initiated, the building is developed, the Regency comes, but there's also 40 residential homes that were developed as well that are paying a full tax rate. And they're probably paying somewhere in the neighborhood collectively of $1 million, I would think, at this point in time, Eric. Is that a fair?
There was 40 of them. They're assessed probably on average $2.5 million on tax rates 1.5%. So yeah, we'd have to add it all up.
So north of $1 million. The very long story short, though, is with those 40 residential homes paying a full tax rate, the schools are getting more money than they were beforehand when the building was vacated. And because of the pilot program, the schools are getting that money coming in, as is the town. Further to that point, and I'm pleased we have our chairman of our finance committee here. I'm not going to call him out and ask him to come up, but he's done very deep, thorough analysis of the pilot program. And for everyone to understand the impact of it, effectively, over the course of the past 7 or 8 years, 50% of the money coming in from the pilot program has actually managed to keep the tax rate down for the rest of the township, right? So that's the contribution that's being made between Bellworks and the Regency. It's a good deal for you all, right? It's an exceptional deal for the town, and the residents don't quite understand it's actually an exceptional deal for them as well in many ways. So I just wanted to, Mayor, echo your sentiment. We called the shot. We believe in it. We kept the spirit of the pilot alive. But I also want to make sure everyone understands, the genesis of this and the real foundation of it, because there's a lot of well-intentioned folks that I think don't quite understand how this came to be and where we're at now.
Thank you, Rocco. Gentleman with the greenish shirt.
Evan Wasserman, 10 Spalding Drive. Again, just to clear up this pilot program, the way I understand it is all the money goes to the township and nothing goes to the state. Is that true? 95%. Okay, close enough. So you probably get more money alone than if we were paying taxes. And my question, because people always complain about the school board, is there any reason why the township in their budget can't put some of that money towards the school board? Okay.
Security in schools, we picked up the security.
Yeah,
it's not like we don't invest in the school. We actually do. And that's new. That started with
3 years ago. That's 100% correct, Joe.
Yeah.
That started 3 years ago. Before that, I was on the Board of Education. We got $10,000 a year. Yeah, $10,000 a year. How much do the guns cost that the security officers carry over there? Probably $10,000 a year when you add them all up. But thank you for your comments. Matt, come on up.
That's easier. Hey guys, Nat Weisfeld, 10 Riverside Lane, Holmdel, New Jersey. Been around for a long time. And, first, I've got nothing but positive. I'm actually really impressed with this. I was a little bit of what are they doing? What's going on? I like it. This is actually a little more cozy, and I kind of want to see what's his name's bigger place over here. So, I mean, like, I think that's kind of a good theme. Keep going on, getting more involved. I'm seeing a lot of faces I've never seen over at the town hall, and honestly, I kind of want to hang out more and see what you got going on over there. So, good in general. But moving on, and things I weren't going to touch upon, but I just have to echo it also. I think everyone forgets how long that was a dead, depressing, just hole in our town. I used to go there as a kid, and then all of a sudden it's a wasteland, and I ended up being one of those kids getting chased out by the cops, rightfully so. But from a morale standpoint, I mean, I was waiting to come here, playing with my kids over at Bell Works, and it was amazing. It was just a good thing all around. And so just to echo as far as the negative and everything else, hey, nothing's perfect. You guys did the best you can, and for me, I like that it's alive and well, and it's a good thing. But that's not why I'm here. I'm here to actually, from a CELU standpoint, to first off, thank you, Mayor Foster, for joining us for our recent luncheon or barbecue, whatever. We hope to have more people. I'm the recent new VP of events and things like that. I want to just publicly invite everybody, not calling out anything or whatever and all that stuff. Again, it's just we'll be having a candidate forum and would love to invite everybody, as far as an online thing, and just get people involved with CELU in general. I think you guys have been great with communicating and working with us. Nothing's ever perfect, but hey, a little pressure always makes things move forward and everything else. And for me, just wanted to extend that in general, just as far as inviting all of you in general, thanking all of you guys and what you guys are doing, and just a little bit of a thumbs up. This is nice, So, and I feel like I had something else, but we can wait till next time. So, thank you guys.
Thank you very much, Matt, for your comments. Michael, come on up.
Is tall. Okay. Thank you, Mayor, Township Committee. I just wanted to say first about the dip in the road.
Your name and address.
Oh, I'm sorry. Michael Antonacci, 24/7 Oak Circle. Just about the dip in the road. I think that was really an example of how government can be very responsive to issues that we're having. I noticed that dip in the road. I would always kind of swerve around a little to avoid it. And just like that, it got fixed. And so I think the Township Committee just deserves a lot of credit for that. I think that was a really quick fix to the problem. Yes. Also, just the second thing I wanted to bring up. Just yesterday, a 13-year-old in Scotch Plains died. He was on an electric bicycle, and he crashed into a truck and he died. I see a lot of kids around town riding on those bikes. And so I think that's something we need to be aware of. I think we need to increase awareness about the safety measures that we're taking to ensure that kids can have a great time, but at the same time be safe, because we want to prevent something like that before it happens here, God forbid. So that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. We actually have some things to discuss in our next executive session, actually specifically regarding e-bikes, but that's about it. Eric, come on up, please.
Eric Silvergold, I'm Powderhorn Court. Thanks, guys. I like the new venue. I think you've set a dangerous benchmark by having snacks at a township committee. As the chairman of the finance committee, I may have to have a word with you. So I wanted to thank you for all the great work you guys have done with respect to open space acquisitions. I know there was a multi-decadal drought in the utilization of our open space funds for the purpose of acquisitions that was thankfully ended by this committee, so I really appreciate what you've done on that front. With that in mind, I just wanted to ask you a quick question with respect to the acquisition of the Potter's Farm property. I was just wondering if you can give us an update on that.
Sure, absolutely. We are moving forward with that. I'm going to let our attorney speak to a little bit more, just because there's been a lot of moving parts with what's been going on there. So, Michael, if you would, please.
Sure. We've been in constant communication with them as we were doing some final due diligence before proceeding to, hopefully a closing very soon. Everything's going well. In fact, I actually communicated with the church's attorneys today on certain issues, so we're moving forward. And the Township Committee already authorized by ordinance the acquisition, so no more formal action is required. And hopefully, it's just an update that we provided at a future meeting that there's a contract and a closing, which we expect to be very soon.
Well, that's getting a little bit ahead of the game. We're not quite sure yet. We know it's going to be preserved land, and then we're going to figure it out. But we need to
finish purchasing first and then sit down as a group and figure out which way we want to go forward.
The safest thing, the spirit of the purchase was to prevent development, to prevent, the sort of invasive, I would perceive it, I don't want to speak for anybody else, sort of invasive type of development. And I think, with Mayor Foster at the helm here, and over the past couple of years, I think we've managed to acquire and reserve more land than I think we had in the prior 20 for the township. So we've been very fortunate with the work Mayor Foster's done there, and we have an exceptional CFO that's also been instrumental.
I can't let him get away with that because it really started with DJ when his group got together. It started with DJ and then with Rocco and with Kim here, and then Joe jumped right on board. We believe in trying to keep this town looking and feeling the way it is. That's period. That's end of story. Thank you for recognizing that, Eric.
Thank you. And one other point with respect to the pilot, since that is a rather interesting topic. So one thing that I think is misunderstood about the pilot is that for every dollar that is contributed to the pilot program, 5% goes to the county, 95% goes to the township of Holmdel. With respect to each tax dollar paid, only 88% of every dollar goes to the township of Holmdel. So I think people need to understand that there's an efficiency of the utilization for the overall township with respect to those payments of pilot payments that I think it's frankly it's misunderstood. And then with respect to the income on the other properties here, I believe the $1 million that you referenced is the proportion of the taxes on those properties going solely to the school district, not in aggregate. So that alone exceeded the prior revenues received from the property.
That's why the chair of the finance committee is here, keeps us honest. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments, Eric, and thank you for all you do for town. Please.
Hi, I'm Barbara Rubin. I live at 4 Lenox Court here. I'm the social chairman for the whole community, and very often I have caterers that come in, I have entertainers, I have people delivering tables or chairs or whatever when we have events. And anytime somebody puts in One Clubhouse Way, Holmdel, it does not exist.
I should have put a phone.
I was on Robin Road.
Yeah, and we've had that. I had one guy who was gone for 45 minutes. It's like, where are you? He says, it sent me to Cold Snack. And any of the other regencies also have One Clubhouse Way for their clubhouse. And if somebody could figure out how to contact the powers that be out there, Google or wherever, that would be appreciated.
We absolutely will. Actually, a positive.
Oh yeah. The other thing
Yeah, I'll
is,
answer when you're done. Get it.
the other thing is that the GPS, as you come across, obviously you make the loop, and if you want to get into our street, which is Lenox, you come across, and just as you come across, it will tell you to make a left onto Bell Labs Road and then make a right onto Lenox. Well, that's one way going out, and the street curves this way to indicate that it's one way. However, there's a line down the middle that sort of indicates that it's two-way, but the sign just before you get there says, no right turn. So it would be helpful if somebody could straighten it out, make people less confused.
Absolutely. Thank you for the comment. So hopefully we'll have some positive traction. When we renamed, I don't know if everybody's aware, the PNC Access Road, we renamed that Billy DeMayo Boulevard after the tragic accident on New Year's Day. We were able to get Waze and Google updated very quickly. So Chris, if we could throw that out there, the same effort to move that along, please.
Brian O'Malley.
B.O.?
Yeah, sorry. He'll be on that.
Perfect. Thank you. More comments? Come on, Pat.
Patrick Trisquita, 56 Line Road. I'm a 42-year resident of Holmdel and an old Bell Labs retiree. We call it Bell Works now, but it was really Bell Labs who really made the modern Holmdel from a farm community to what it is today. And I want to just mention, it was great news to hear that Robert Wilson, we have a grant now from the New Jersey Historical Trust to continue developing the horn antenna and the Robert Wilson Park. But This place is hallowed ground, right here. I don't know if many people know this, but in 1928, Bell Laboratories bought 492 acres in the countryside so that a young scientist named Carl Jansky, you have a street named Jansky Drive right over here, bought 492 acres so that Carl Jansky could do his work on noise coming from radio. Radio was the big thing that there. New York City was fierce with radio signals and static from all over the place. And they put him, Carl Jansky, out in the countryside with his antenna, which he placed right where this building is. Right where this building, 93 years ago. And in April of 1932, he aimed his antenna, and he didn't have any amplifiers, but he heard noise in a little headset. They used to listen to radios in those days on his crystal radio set, and the antenna pointed in a certain direction. And what he heard, he didn't know it at the time, was noise coming from the black hole of the center of the Milky Way galaxy, Sagittarius A. He didn't get a Nobel Prize because no one knew what it was until just recently. And it goes together. But that's the tradition we have in Holmdel, and it's right here. You're in a famous place. The antenna was literally placed right here. There's a monument real close to here, but this was the area he drove this. It had Model T Ford wheels on it, and this is the place. So I just wanted to mention that comment. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pat. And thank you for the comments. And we'll make sure that Barbara Kowaleski, who unfortunately couldn't be here this evening, she's recovering from a procedure. She's doing great. I spoke to her yesterday, but we'll make sure she hears that. So thank you very much for recognizing. Any other public comments? All right. Well, listen, we're going to hang around. This really has been a lot of fun. It's really nice to see this kind of turnout. With that, I guess we'll accept the motion.
Motion. Second.
Okay. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you all. Have a great night.